Imagine a battle, a clash of empires. On one side, Alexander the Great, king of Macedon, a brilliant military strategist, undefeated in battle. He conquered Persia. He reached India. He was a legend. On the other side, the Roman legions, disciplined, organized, masters of warfare. They built an empire that spanned continents. They were relentless. This is a clash of titans, a battle for the ages. Who would win? Let's explore this epic encounter. Let's journey back in time. Let's witness the might of Alexander and the power of Rome. Alexander's story is incredible. Crowned king at 20, he united Greece under his banner. He then set his sights on the Persian Empire, a vast and wealthy foe. Alexander's army was formidable. At its core, the Companion cavalry, a force of elite horsemen. They were the hammer to his anvil. The anvil was the Macedonian phalanx. Thousands of infantrymen armed with long spears called sarissas. They formed a wall of bronze and steel, impenetrable to most enemies. Alexander was a master of combined arms warfare. He used cavalry charges to break enemy lines. His phalanx would then advance, crushing the enemy. He was unstoppable. While Alexander was conquering Persia, a new power was rising in the west. This power would not be known for the brilliance of a single leader, but for the collective strength and discipline of its people. Rome. The Romans were not known for individual brilliance. Instead, they were celebrated for their collective might and the strength of their institutions. They were known for their organization, discipline, and adaptability. These qualities were ingrained in every Roman soldier from the moment they joined the ranks. The Roman army was built around the legion. This was not just a military unit but a symbol of Roman power and efficiency. A legion was a flexible unit of around 5,000 men. This flexibility allowed the Romans to deploy their forces in a variety of ways, adapting to the needs of the battlefield. It was divided into smaller, more maneuverable units called cohorts. Each cohort could operate independently or in concert with others, providing a tactical advantage. Roman soldiers were highly trained. Their training was rigorous and continuous, ensuring that they were always prepared for the challenges of war. They were equipped with short swords, javelins, and large shields. These weapons were designed for both offense and defense, making the Roman soldier a versatile warrior. They fought in close formation, using their shields for protection and their swords for close-quarters combat. This tight formation made them nearly impenetrable to enemy attacks. The Roman legion was a deadly force on the battlefield. Their discipline and training allowed them to execute complex maneuvers with precision. They could adapt to different terrain and enemy tactics. Whether fighting in forests, mountains, or open fields, the Roman legion could adjust its strategy to meet the demands of the environment. They were relentless in pursuit. Once they had the enemy on the run, they would not stop until they had secured a decisive victory. They were the foundation of Roman power. The strength and discipline of the Roman legion were key to the expansion and maintenance of the Roman Empire, making them one of the most formidable military forces in history. Both Alexander's army and the Roman legions were formidable fighting forces, each with their own unique strategies and tactics that made them legendary in the annals of history. But they had different strengths and weaknesses, which defined their successes and failures on the battlefield. Alexander's army was built for speed and shock, designed to strike swiftly and decisively. The Companion cavalry, a key component of Alexander's forces, was unmatched in its day, renowned for its ability to break enemy lines with sheer force and precision. The Macedonian phalanx, with its long spears and tight formation, was a fearsome sight on the battlefield, capable of holding off larger forces with its disciplined ranks. However, Alexander's army was smaller than the Roman legions, which often put them at a numerical disadvantage. It was also heavily reliant on Alexander's leadership, his strategic genius, and his ability to inspire his men. Without him, the army was vulnerable, often falling into disarray and losing its effectiveness in battle. The Roman legions, on the other hand, were larger and more disciplined, with a well-structured command system that ensured order and efficiency. They were also more adaptable, capable of changing formations and tactics to suit the needs of the moment. This adaptability allowed them to fight in different formations and adapt to various types of terrain, making them versatile warriors. However, the Roman legions were not as mobile as Alexander's army, often struggling to keep up with faster-moving opponents. They were also not as experienced in fighting large, set-piece battles against highly skilled opponents like the Macedonians, which sometimes put them at a tactical disadvantage. In the end, the clash between these two great armies was not just a battle of men, but a battle of military philosophies, each with its own strengths and weaknesses that shaped the course of history. Section 5. The leaders, Alexander's charisma versus Roman pragmatism. The outcome of a battle is often decided by the leaders. Their decisions, their strategies, and their ability to inspire their troops can turn the tide of war. Alexander the Great and the Roman generals were both brilliant military minds. Their legacies have shaped the course of history, but their approaches to leadership were starkly different. But their leadership styles were very different. Alexander's approach was deeply personal and charismatic, while the Roman generals were methodical and pragmatic. Alexander was known for his charisma and his ability to inspire his troops. His presence on the battlefield was electrifying, and his soldiers would follow him to the ends of the earth. He led from the front, often charging into battle alongside his men. This not only boosted the morale of his troops, but also demonstrated his bravery and commitment. He was a risk-taker, always willing to gamble on a bold maneuver. His audacity often caught his enemies off guard, leading to stunning victories. Roman generals, on the other hand, were known for their pragmatism and discipline. They valued order and structure, and their strategies reflected this. They were less likely to take risks. Instead, they focused on maintaining a strong defensive position and wearing down their enemies over time. They preferred to plan their battles carefully and rely on the discipline of their troops. This methodical approach ensured that their armies were always prepared and resilient, capable of enduring prolonged conflicts. The Romans also excelled in engineering and logistics, building fortifications and supply lines that supported their campaigns. This meticulous planning and preparation were key to their success. In the end, both Alexander's charisma and the Roman pragmatism left indelible marks on history. Their contrasting styles offer valuable lessons in leadership and strategy. Section 6. The battlefield. A hypothetical encounter in the heart of Italy. Let's imagine a hypothetical battle between Alexander the Great and the Roman legions. The year is 330 BC. Alexander has just conquered Persia. He turns his attention westward, towards the rising power of Rome. The two armies meet in the heart of Italy, on a broad plain. The terrain is open, ideal for both cavalry maneuvers and infantry formations. The stage is set for an epic clash of civilizations. Section 7. Alexander's hammer, the Macedonian assault, and Roman resilience. The battle begins with a thunderous roar. Alexander unleashes his companion cavalry, aiming to strike the Roman flanks and disrupt their formations. The Roman legions, however, are prepared. They form a defensive perimeter, their shields interlocked, repelling the initial cavalry charges. Meanwhile, the Macedonian phalanx advances with mechanical precision, their sarissas lowered, a bristling wall of spear points. The Roman legions, accustomed to close-quarters combat, find themselves at a disadvantage against the Macedonian spear wall. Roman legions, however, are not easily defeated. They adapt to the Macedonian tactics. They use their javelins to harass the phalanx, disrupting their formations. They exploit gaps in the Macedonian lines, using their superior numbers to their advantage. Roman discipline and training begin to tell. They fight with grim determination, gradually wearing down the Macedonian assault. The tide of battle begins to turn. The outcome of this hypothetical battle is uncertain. It could go either way. If Alexander can outmaneuver the Roman legions and break their lines with a decisive cavalry charge, he might achieve a swift victory. His legend would grow, and the course of history might be forever altered. However, if the Roman legions can withstand the initial Macedonian onslaught and exploit their numerical superiority and tactical adaptability, they might eventually prevail. This victory could mark a turning point in Roman history, solidifying their dominance in the Western Mediterranean and paving the way for their future conquests. The impact of this battle, regardless of the victor, would be profound. A Macedonian victory could have led to the Hellenization of the Western Mediterranean, spreading Greek culture and influence. Rome might have become a Greek vassal state, its own imperial ambitions stifled. A Roman victory, on the other hand, would have cemented their position as the dominant power in the region. It would have fueled their expansionist ambitions, eventually leading to the formation of the Roman Republic and later, the Roman Empire. This clash of titans, this battle between Alexander the Great and the Roman legions is a tantalizing what-if scenario. It is a reminder of the contingency of history, of how different choices and outcomes could have shaped our world. Though this battle never took place, it allows us to explore the strengths and weaknesses of two of the ancient world's most formidable military forces. It highlights the importance of leadership, strategy, and adaptation in warfare. And it leaves us wondering, what if?